And we're live, folks. I'm back with a new video, back with a new live, and today I'm going to talk about the frequency levels of consciousness. These are different levels of hertz that you can vibrate on a frequency level. And I've done this before. I broke them all down from positive, negative, neutral, but I'm getting back into it in a more in-depth level. And yeah, I'm about to get into it. So with the first one, so these are the levels. 20 hertz equals shame. 30 hertz equals guilt. 50 hertz equals apathy, 75 hertz equals grief, 100 hertz equals fear, 125 hertz equals desire, 150 hertz equals anger, 175 hertz equals pride, 200 hertz equals courage, 250 hertz equals neutrality, 310 hertz equals willingness, 350 hertz equals acceptance, 400 hertz equals reason, 500 hertz equals love, 540 hertz equals joy, 600 hertz equals peace, and 700 plus hertz equals enlightenment, which equals the God of consciousness, equals you've accessed the quantum mind. So, with that being said, shame. Oh yeah, one more thing. 0 hertz equals death. So you have no conscience. You're not vibrating when you're dead. You're done, or you're waiting to reincarnate or whatnot, or you're in heaven, hell, whatever you believe in the afterlife. Or whatever, is lights out, you're done, you're not vibrating, your soul, your body's gone, and your soul has inhabited, and spirit has inhabited another vessel or is getting ready to go wherever it needs to go, whatever you believe in. So, with that being said, shame, which is above death, this is the conscious level where you have suicidal thoughts, such that, when you're in life where you just don't really care. This is the lowest level, right above death, with death equals 0, shame equals 20 hertz, so this is above death. You may have suicidal thoughts. This is the same conscious level as a serial killer because they have no remorse. They have no feeling. There's nothing there. They're at their lowest of lows. They're too deep into the lower self. So at that point, they have no remorse. They like killing. They enjoy killing. They just want to be evil and everything. This is the low level vibration. So low level vibration induces demonic behavior. And with that being said, once you get into these lower levels, you may become a demon. And with that being said, you may be possessed by a demon as well, which makes you become a serial killer and everything. This is high levels of self-hate. So this is also when you hate yourself to the point where you want to commit suicide, or you hate yourself to the point where you hate others to the point where you want to kill them on a mass killing spree with no remorse at all. So you lack emotion, you lack feeling, even though shame is a feeling. Shame is a conscious level, but you're at the lowest level of feeling and consciousness. Next, we have guilt, which also deals with suicidal thoughts, but you're not able to let go of the past. So the past haunts you each and every day. Something traumatic could have happened that you can't forgive yourself for. This is where it happens with like abuse cases. This is what happens with like sexual assault, rape, things of that nature. These people are not able to forgive themselves. They feel guilty that they've been, shamed. Not even just extreme cases like that. Even like bullying is extreme as well. Just like it doesn't have to be like sexual assault, like bullying. You may a friend may have died. You may blame yourself. Something like this book called what is it? It's some. I wish I knew the name. This guy, he was his friend died. They were drinking and driving. The guy crashed the car. They were drinking and everything, and his friend died. He blamed himself for the death. So this is the conscious level of guilt. He was not able to let go of the past, which led to shame. Thank you, I appreciate it. Which led to shame, and this is where he ended up committing suicide. But guilt in all these frequency levels, when going down, can lead to the number. You can rise to these frequency levels, or you can go down to these frequency levels, depending on life experiences. So, with that being said, not being able to let go of the past, you're in the feeling of shame, and you have suicidal thoughts. And if you're religious, your thoughts of being a sinner. So you're stuck in your sin. You're stuck in this conscious level where you're like, hey, I'm a sinner and whatnot. And you feel guilty of the sins that you've committed, which may have happened in the past or happened in the present moment. Now, we're going to apathy. Apathy, this is the conscious level of helplessness. This is you have no hope. You have a victim mentality. So, say like things are happening to you. There was a 9-year-old girl that killed herself for being bullied in school. That is very sad. And I feel for her and her family. Bullying and suicide is not a joke, and when the kids are involved, when kids are traumatized to the point, I take that very deeply. I feel that very deeply. So yeah, rest in peace to that girl. I hope what she's in a better place. She's not suffering from whatever she was going through. But yeah, apathy, feeling the helplessness, a victim mentality. So you're always the victim in every situation. Nothing's your fault. You're always you're always blaming other people. These are feelings of apathy. This is the conscious level of homeless people, because so homeless people feel helpless. They have no home. They probably don't have a family. They don't have any family to go to, so they feel helpless, and they're in a victim mentality. They could be in a victim mentality because of being homeless. Yeah, stumbling over myself. My bad for being homeless. Whatever, whether it's drug abuse, or whatnot, just falling down, going down bad. This is the conscious level of apathy. And yeah, things aren't going their way in life. So they're not satisfied with that. Next, we have grief. This is the conscious level of sadness. Wherever you're sad, it's okay to go through. These are all okay. As long as you don't turn into a serial killer or anything, or you're destructive. All these emotions are okay. Because we're here to experience emotions and not get attached to any of these emotions. So, sadness. This is the feeling of sadness. Something may have happened. You may have lost a loved one. This is the conscious level where you can get into depression. But it's higher than grief, and it's higher than shame, because you're escaping numbness. You're escaping the feeling of your heart being numb. So you want to feel these feelings when you're going through grief. You actually want to feel these feelings of sadness, loss, and depression. You're not to the point where you have apathy, where you have a victim mentality and you feel helpless, or shame, where you're stuck in your sin or whatnot. You actually want to feel the grief and loss and get out of it. You're trying to escape these feelings once you hit grief. Next, we have fear. You see danger in the world. You feel unsafe and you feel trapped. You need help. You're needing of help. This is also where the feeling of someone getting stuck in an abusive relationship. This is an example that was provided for me of the notes. This is based off of Stephen Hawkins, and somebody interpreted it. So this is the dynamic of someone being stuck in a abusive relationship when they feel fear, the conscious level of fear. They feel trapped. They feel unsafe. They see danger. So they're experiencing danger and they feel unsafe. So that's what leads when they feel trapped. So that's why it may take someone a long time to get out of an abusive relationship, or unfortunately they may lose their life because of they're stuck in a fear conscious level. Next, desire. So think of desire of not wants and needs. Think of it as being desire conscious level, being materialistic. I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm glad you made out of it alive, Desire, being materialistic. So yeah, when someone's stuck in the desire conscious, they're being materialistic. People that are always trying to buy expensive clothing and whatnot, want to put their kids in expensive clothing. Get mad at the kid just for the kids to go mess it up, so they can cuss about the kids out for buying them materialistic stuff. This is where you want to drink. This is the level where you start drinking, indulging in drinking, smoking, and doing other drugs. All right, it's okay. All right, experience doing drugs. So this is where drug addiction or wanting to smoke every day, escaping reality. This is the level of escaping reality. The conscious level where you want to escape reality via drugs, alcohol, or even partying and things of that nature. Where you just want to escape. You have all these lower level desires, where you want to escape reality and become, or yeah, whatever. This is where drug addiction can lead to, when you have these desires of always wanting to be high, always wanting to escape reality in some sort of way via drugs and alcohol, intoxication of, these spirits, drugs and alcohol is just spirits. The drugs like smoking smoking marijuana expands your thoughts and ideas, so you can get attacked through your thoughts and your ideas. Alcohol expands your emotions. So if you're very angry, when you drink, you've ever been to someone that's very angry, they start drinking, they get drunk, they want to fight? Or if they're real sad, they might just cry. Or if they're real happy, they can be real joyful and upbeat, being the life of a party. But yeah, with that being said, these are the conscious levels of desire. Next, the conscious level is anger. You're frustrated, but there's two sides of it. The good, you may want to start taking action. So I'm gonna use myself for an example. I was angry at the way black people were treated in the society. So I started taking the action and started making these videos, started going live, started making books of self-love and self-improvement because I wanted to make a difference in the world. So when I was at this conscious level, I was like, all right, I came up with so many ideas to take action. Or you can just be stuck in hatred. And when you start losing emotion, you start losing compassion, you start losing empathy. This could turn you into a serial killer of some sort, or just someone who's chaotic, destructive, or just evil. So, and this was speaking of evil behavior. This is the aggressor in an abusive relationship, someone who's in the conscious level of anger. They may become the aggressor in an abusive relationship. So if you pair someone in the anger conscious level and pair them with somebody pair them with a person of fear, a fear conscious level, they're going to play the roles. The aggressor will be the person in the anger conscious levels, and the person with fear in the fear conscious will be the one that's trapped, that will feel trapped in everything. But the anger, they're frustrated. They have frustrations of the past. They may not be able to let go. You can experience these conscious levels simultaneously, because if they're angered at your past, you're stuck in the guilt part. So you feel guilty, which can lead to anger, which may be where you become the aggressor in an abusive relationship. You wanted to take action, you may want to change, or you're just stuck in hatred. You're stuck in hatred. This is why you become an aggressor. You feel me? All right, next, pride. False feelings of happiness. So you're stuck in these false feelings. You're dependent on the external world. So you need self-validation to fill your pride up when you're stuck in this level, or it's not stuck, when you're on this conscious level. You have irrational denial. So you deny everything that goes against what you believe in, your morality, anything. You become very defensive. You're attached to your belief systems, your morality. You're attached to these things. This is what, if you were ever nosy on my page and you see me get into a debate with a Christian, because that's what I get in debates with, a Christian, they're attached to it. They feel like you're attacking them when you attack their beliefs or expose a truth that their belief system has done. They'll feel attacked personally. That's what you mean. That's what it means when you have pride. You have pride into your belief system. You have pride in your religion. You have pride in this, your spiritual. So you have so much pride when someone has a different opinion, or has some information about it. You get attached, and your pride won't let you let go, or let your knowledge or your belief systems be wrong. And I've been on this side too. I'm not perfect. You feel me? I've gotten defensive of stuff, even when I was a Christian, or with this stuff. If this happens, it's fine. Sometimes we have a lot of pride. It's okay to have pride sometimes. But when you become defensive, or you become irrational, or you start depending on the external world instead of your internal world, which fills up your real world, then you may start having false feelings of happiness. That's when it becomes a problem. Next, we have courage. These are one of the pride. This is the last of the lower feelings. We're getting into the neutral feelings, such as courage. Courage. This is when you finally build strength. So, say the person that was in the abusive relationship, the person that's in the fear conscious level. Once they find courage, once they get to the courage level, then they may just be able to jump to that somehow. You can just jump to these levels, or you can just go down to these levels. You feel me? But once something in them sparks the strength to actually up and leave this person, then they can see these experiences as lessons. So life, you finally start to see life may be challenging, but it's excited at the same time. You're excited over the fact that you overcame these experiences that you were going through. This is the level of personal growth. You feel me? You're optimistic for the future. You're like, hey, I finally had the strength to go on and move on with life. And you're optimistic what life brings you in the future. And next, we have neutrality. So it is what it is. You see life like, hey, I'm fine with whatever. I'm fine without things. I'm fine with things, whatever the things may be. Whether it's a relationship, like, hey, I'm fine with this relationship. I'm fine without this relationship. These are the conscious level of somebody that's self-employed, someone that who works for themselves. They're new. They feel life as being neutral. You know, they found neutrality in life. They're comfortable. These are people that are comfortable with life. They're not complaining. They're not unsatisfied. They're satisfied. They're content, and they're not doing too much. They're not working too hard. They're just relaxing and letting life come to them. They're enjoying life and going with the flow. These are people that go with the flow. Willingness. So you feel safe in life. You feel comfortable as well. You use your energy wisely. You don't get into things that will put you down or get too excited. You use your energy wisely. You know, you're productive. You have no complaints, and you give effort. You give your effort. You know, you give your all, your maximum effort when you start to become willing. When you start in the conscious level of willingness, it's because you found your willpower, your fire, acceptance. You become competent. You start setting and achieving goals. You start living your purpose. You start to finally see the bigger picture. Like, hey, you start making changes. Like, hey, I can finally live this life. This is my purpose. I'm going to bring a change to the world. When you're at the conscious level of acceptance. You feel me? Next, we have reason. So this is when you become rational. This is when you become disciplined. You start being yourself. You know, you start making meaningful contributions to the world when you're at the conscious level of reason. So with your rationality, you're able to become disciplined. You're able to become yourself. You're able to live authentically and with a purpose. And you start making meaningful contributions to life. And love. I call this the level of universal love. This is unconditional love. You start to love unconditionally. You start to understand people. You start to be connected to the earth, to the universe. You love animals like you would love a human. You would love plants like you would love another human. You would love like outer space, the stars, like you would love a human. You know, you start to see animals and plants as equals, you know, to human life. You know, you start seeing even other races of people with compassion. You start living in your heart space. And when you start living in your heart space, you have pure intentions. You want to heal the world. You want to spread love. You want to practice random acts of kindness. You feel me? And you start to become a humanitarian. This is the conscious level of a humanitarian. They're in the love conscious level, an unconditional love, and they're not attached as well. This is an unattached love. This is unattached love. You're not attached to love. You're not attached to this emotion. You start to become detached. It's for the greater good. Everything starts to become for the greater good when you're in the love conscious level. In the joy conscious level, you have an unshakable happiness. You're happy. Nobody can bring this happiness down. You have a strong intuition. You start to be synchronized with the universe. You're expanding. You start expanding your consciousness, and this can come from a near-death experience where it wakes you up and makes you realize, like, hey, I'm more than this body. I'm a spirit in a body, and my consciousness is finally expanding. Now I'm in synchronicity with the universe. You start trusting your gut. You start listening to the universe. You start trusting the universe. And with that being said, nothing can break you. Peace. Peace. The conscious level of peace. When you totally transcend, you're able to transcend your problems, your negative issues. You're able to resolve yourself. You're at peace. You're at a state of bliss. And everything is going amazing. And lastly, we have enlightenment. This is when you become connected with divinity. You start living divine with divinity. You start living a divine life. This awakens the God within. The God within, and you start connecting with the universe and the quantum mind. They also call enlightenment the God conscious, the quantum mind, which is the God conscious. So you start becoming the creator. You start becoming a creator, not the overall space. You start becoming a creator. You start creating your reality. This is when alchemy comes into play. You're able to manifest what you want in life and what you love in life. You know, and you start to get what you deserve. And if you're on the positive, the right side of, not the right side, you're on the positive side of energy, which is connectedness, you're going to start manifesting experiences that bring connectedness. And if you're on the negative side of energy, this is when you start experiencing and start attracting experiences that make you disconnected from oneness. So at the end of the day, these are all the conscious level frequencies. Hope you guys learned something. Hope this brings you some type of enlightenment or knowledge. And I love you guys. I'm out. Peace.